The universe, without a doubt, broadened, enabling endlessly out more first-rate length. After this period, it endured to grow anyway at a more sluggish cost in the quit, changing over into the universe we focus on as of late. That is the inflationary speculation of the collectible infinite effect, the generally unmistakable and for the most part saw hypothesis of how the universe started. In any case, for 2 or 3 physicists, this head hypothesis does never again unequivocally paint the create of our universe. See. Ed. The universe existed before that thing, loosening up interminably into the past as well as into the future. Even as the universe is growing nowadays, it became contracting early on, then the tremendous explosion. In this view, the gigantic explosion isn't exactly a bang but a leap. Even while the contracting universe traded ways and yet again went out to make us spread out through their speculation, the universe could need to avoid with continued progress prevented by a breakdown inside the some distance future. Then another jump, a couple of physicists proposed the S might be unending. This awful situation, the norm cosmological view in which the whole matter started with an immense bang, is additionally troublesome. Conditions, the speculation of how things show up to advance, that something can't emerge from nothing, adding to the pressure. The James Webb Telescope has made disturbing divulgences clashing with the thought that the gigantic explosion may be thought contemplated the beginning of the universe. These revelations convey up the request. If the gigantic blast wasn't the beginning of the universe, then what was? Should the universe over the long haul begin with a diversion or something most absolutely undeniable? The possibility that the universe had a beginning or a night with no yesterday, as it turned out to be initially, broke down returns to George Lemaître in 1927. At the same time, it's far from an optimal situation to show that the universe most likely had a work that length of cost. History has almost nothing to do with the hot expansive bang that depicted our essential universe. Anyway, extraordinary region-informed authorities, or on the other hand even a minority of specialists, in any case of the truth that live with conviction that the huge bang indicates the earliest reference point of all that matters considered the definition. Out of the gigantic blast, it isn't the presentation of life as we might be aware of nowadays. In truth, there may be a lot of evidence featured a non-particular beginning of our universe. We never appeared at these closures subordinate generally upon no unmistakable end or beyond preposterous temperatures. Our universe is incredible, described through an inflationary length that happened already the tremendous blast. The huge explosion is the stop-last aftereffect of what passed off inside the heading of the summit of progress. During progress, the universe modified into assuredly void, no trash, autonomous of no F photons. Simply void district, space itself became stacked with a massive measure of solidarity at each spot. This power changed after some time, connecting in a fast and settled plan, in light of the fact that the universe postponed those changes loose to immense expansions. While new bound scale changes have been made to peak, this superposition of weaknesses all through scales is a depicting part of cosmological extension. It's for conflicting reasons, not reason. If you lived in an extending universe, you may possibly track down nearby local people where an extension showed up at an end or the district among you and them differed persistently. In short, you could endeavor to get what happens closer to the beginning of an immense impact before that region vanished for all intents and purposes from view. It integrates a little area nearby considering all things, likelihood not any more conspicuous norm size than a human extraordinary hamster ball, in any case presumably incredibly greater. The power capacity of region then at that point gets changed over into be counted moreover radiation. This change happens rapidly, taking design quickly, however, not fast in light of the fact that the energy shut up itself changes over into flume and a few photons and more. The temperature quickly extends from several degrees above by and large zero to perhaps around 20 Kelvin. All through the indistinct quick time span due to the colossal degree of energy changed, all that action is close to the speed of light. All particles go about as radiation with enormous strength, whether massless or immense prank. This change is called warming, meaning the completion of progress and besides the start of the degree suggested as the new huge bang. As progress proceeds, you'll observe an enormous substitute from all past conditions while the current gigantic explosion begins. The extending universe quick tones down later. The mystery image of progress in an inflationary universe spot extends outright illy, with more noticeable and extended way locales walking incessantly. Even as progress closes and the new colossal bang gets rolling and advance, all the more farther regions will die down from you to a continuously creating endorsement. It persistently, as time progresses, the piece of the universe where improvement closes sees the increased cost drop, while the extending districts encompassing it see no such drop under increase. The space to any object ought to double after a specific length, and keeping in mind that that identical proportion of time sneaks past that, yet again, distance copies interminably. Hen the immense blast starts, this change, since the extending universe moves down after the basic second of progress before the colossal explosion, you might incite improvement cleaning up with abutting districts. Those regions where in-progress terminations will stack up with antimatter also, radiation and make more prominent more gradually than the at this point making local people, leaving you in the extending neighborhood as a standard association inside spacetime. Those regions in which power huge bangs get uprise as far away from world-class spots where improvement keeps. Along these lines, they'll practically die down from one another's view inside the norm inflationary picture. As a result of this, the improvement charge changes. There might be a little bet that any universes with separate warm tremendous bangs will ever collaborate. The region where we come to live gets rather lucky and improvement shows up at an end for us. The power typical for space itself gets changed over to a force-thick and almost uniform regions of particles with the main imperfection and besides departures from consistency concerning the quantum changes that existed and were loose across the universe. Quicker or later of headway, the high-quality energy quantum variances contrast at first with overdense locales, while the dreadful energy vacillations get changed over into most critically under locales. Those incorporate as the seeds of tremendous designs we can't see. Those thickness changes recently, as they had been even as the universe above all went through the serious expansive bang. There are no recognizable inscriptions we can get admission to from that early range, ensuing to going through extra affiliations, despite the way that we can extrapolate back to sort out the basic thickness instabilities. Finding something steady with the account of infinite improvement, the temperature instabilities are engraved inside the boundless microwave record CMB, presenting confirmation of how the tremendous explosion started. At this point, there are unique inconsistencies. The greater part of the CMB and our state-of-the-art type of cosmology were missing something, and people can be summarized in 4 abnormalities. First, for predominantly enormous scopes, the universe isn't by and large going about as expected. The light from the CMB is being lensed through our Among Us. Furthermore, the CMB, that implies the depend acts like a tremendous point of convergence, twisting and changing over the plentifulness of the delicate in the return of it. The volume of this lensing isn't consistently unsurprising with our extreme forefront model, addressing a high-quality mission for custody other than the various sides of the equator of the CMB sky, have one pretended ordinary temperatures conflicting with the presumption for consistency inside the universe's earliest degree. The probability that the universe ought to have started constantly results in different anomalies. Third, the cost of the Hubble consistent, which portrays how quick the universe is extending, changes dependent upon whether we measure it from the galactic microwave important past CMB or from adjoining stars. All in that large number of irregularities proposed, we are insufficient concerning something principal by the manner in which we choose for the universe. One proposed game plan comes from circle quantum cosmology, which begins from circle quantum gravity on the design of life in circle quantum cosmology. There's a tiniest size of spot, the board scale, or 1.0 by 10 to the power of -35. This approach infers the internal colossal bang couldn't exist in a universe described through this standard. As an option, the universe ought to by no means come to an unfathomably minimal thick issue close to the colossal blast. In circle quantum cosmology, while the universe became small, quantum amendments and expected a terrible strain causing a jump, then again of an eccentricity. This shows that our universe could have started from a first universe that contracted after which widened all over again, like a phoenix rising from the ashes. While the possibility of a gigantic skip isn't really new, all the time circle quantum cosmology gives a mathematical design to help its cyclic time. A lot of like the chance of a huge leap, it is besides arranged in H cosmology, remembering for a comparable way to this idea. If circle quantum cosmology is correct, the early universe may have had a delicate energy and thickness. This ongoing situation should adjust the CMB appearing as delicate assortments in temperature all through the sky. These assortments, estimated through the quality energy range, offer gigantic evidence of the universe's establishment, further directing the opportunity of a jump standard. Circle quantum cosmology offers a persuading and open way to the ultramodern immense blast variation, perhaps settling a piece of the drawn-out status abnormalities in cosmology and furthermore, giving pieces of information into the starting points of the universe. It moreover shows the meaning of ought to be ready for one of 5 edges.